Come on over, it's time for Tim Friend. Hey, welcome back to the Tim Friend. So I looked it up, turns out they do sell lockpicks at that secret shop, so unless the wiki is lying to me, which I would say is not even possible, but we all know how much to trust the internet, they do sell lockpicks there for 1,200 each, which is quite expensive, but it will get us some money in the long run, because you have to unlock fucking treasure chests full of money, and also gems, which are money. I don't know why they separate that out, but whatever. It might have something to do with like the way they rank you as a tactician in this game. And there's a bunch of shit that I don't remember about it, but it's like one of them is funds, and I don't even like you have to fucking sell expensive items so you can get more money so you can do better at funds or some shit. Yeah, it's like the best worst level for Kent. So yeah, but I don't try to do like a fucking high level play here on Tim Friend. I mean, the ranking system's fine for people who want to do that, you know. Go crazy, kill yourself. Don't do that. That was a poorly phrased and thought out sentence. But I mean, if you want to get like a good ranking based on this game's sort of judgment of your play, go crazy. It's, you know, I'm sure you can have a great time doing that. But I don't have a great time doing that, so I won't, and never expect me to do that, because that seems like one of them is doing it at as few turns as possible, and that's less like fun to me, and just more like fucking writing down an outline for a fucking school paper. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't think it's necessary. I want to just fucking write the paper or play the game or whatever is actually happening in this convoluted analogy. It's not that convoluted, it's just one thing, but still, I don't like it, I don't support it. Just say no to lowest turn count. That's rude. Some people really like it, I guess. It's not me. It's a way to make Fire Emblem more interesting for some people, I suppose. And I can't argue with that. Like, Fire Emblem, like me recording Fire Emblem on Tim Friend is basically a way for me to make Fire Emblem more interesting for me, because like I said, I've played this game many times, but I mean it's the same story each time, theoretically. It's just like one of them is more interesting than the other, so it's like why play it again? But it does have a sort of replayability, because you do get to use the multiple, like you can use different characters, or maybe characters will be good in one run and bad in another run. And I mean stats wise, their personalities won't fucking change. Unless there was like some weird support. That would be cool. But yeah, it's like there is some replayability, but you're always gonna be using fucking Eliwood or Hector. You ain't got really a choice in that one. And it's like, so the story, like you'll get, like, if you're like me, when you want to do things that are comfortable to you, you'll sort of fall into ruts, and you'll be like, well, Kent was good that one time, so I'm just gonna keep using Kent. You know, I'm just gonna play it safe on the Kent route. Alright, we've got the first of the reinforcements over here. They're mages, which is exactly poor for Hector. But we'll have Urk start moving up. Maybe Florina? We'll just have Urk, because Urk's like level 18. We could stand to get him to 20, so that we could have someone else to use staffs. I think I'm gonna send Sane trundling south too, just so he can pick up that physics staff for Priscilla without Priscilla having to run over and get it, so we wouldn't have like a healer on this new front line. What the fuck was I talking about? But yeah, I'd sort of fall into ruts, because like I like, you know, I start to like certain characters, which is dangerous. But then I'll just keep using that character. I'll be like, oh, Hector was awesome that one time, I'm gonna keep using Hector. Raven was awesome that one time, I'm gonna keep using Raven. And then it just becomes like Hector, Raven, and then all the other people I like to use. And it's just that forever. And that's not super exciting. So I do understand people trying to switch it up in Fire Emblem, because once you've played it with like every combination of characters that might be good or bad, or you like or dislike, or whatever the fuck you're doing, it can get too simple, I guess. Not too simple, but like too repetitive, I suppose is the phrase. That's the actual phrase. So I do understand other people who might like trying to play with like the lowest turn count, but it's not for me, and I don't know if it ever will be. I'm not a person that's super... I mean, I like the idea of efficiency, but it's not something that I'm ever good at, I guess. Here's the lockpicks. I'm gonna get 2, because I don't think there's enough chests or doors in the game to warrant 3, and I think I can just steal more. Should I buy any of these killer weapons? I think I'll buy a killer axe, just because it's the cheapest one, and it might be good on Hector later. But other than that, I'm not going to buy any killer weapons. We've got Kent over here. He's going to take out these knights. That's, what do they got? Axe Reaver? That's pretty good. And a Poison Lance. So I'm going to move him up into this knight's attack range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. Right there. And keep the Iron Lance equipped. And then if this guy comes up, he won't be able to fight. I'll be able to switch to Kent's sword just in time to rock that weapon triangle advantage on the other knight. Over here we've got knights and mages for reinforcements, which are pretty dastardly. That's sort of why I didn't go up there, because knights are good at killing some things and mages are good at killing other things. And it's because they're good at different things that makes them difficult to deal with all at once, especially if they're running right at you like these reinforcements are. Fortunately, Urk is fucking immune to enemy mages because of his pretty good resistance and enemy mages' relatively weak sauce magic stat. And Urk's magic stat has grown enough to the point where he can just truck the enemy mages by himself. I'm thinking I wanted to use a little bit of Legault just there to get him some experience, because we are going to be bringing Legault all the fucking way, because he's really cool. I like his fantasy ass hair and name and face. I like him. It's sort of a I like fantasy stuff, which is, I've talked about that before, I know, but excuse me. Oh god. That was disgusting, and I apologize. I do like fantasy stuff, even though I sort of make fun of it. Like Legault, what the fuck kind of name is Legault? It's fantasy bullshit. But I do like him, and I do like fantasy bullshit. Like I've got a weakness for it. He's got fucking higher strength than Lyn. Fuck you, Lyn. I love you. Never change, never leave. So yeah, it's as much as it is fantasy bullshit, I still like it. That's all I'm trying to say with that statement. We will move him up right here. That's up only Poison Lance, right? And I think it did like 5 damage or some shit to him. Yeah, Poison Lances, while they're cool and they do put the poison status, which as a player we never get to put on anyone, it really tanks the Poison Lance's like damage stat. So whenever anyone's using like a Poison Lance, it's like, okay, I'll take no fucking damage, and then I'll take 1 damage every turn for like the next 3 turns or whatever bullshit you're doing to me. So it's kind of a cool concept. It's very good on the enemy side, and really terrible if we had access to it. It would be pointless. There's no time when we're hitting a dude. I mean, unless you count like bosses of stages that are particularly tough, then we might want poison weapons just to sort of counteract their throne healing. Is like the healing they get whenever they're standing on a throne or on a gate or in a village or whatever place they decide to put the boss. So it might be useful for that case, but in this game, in normal mode at least, I don't think there are any bosses that are like tanky to the point where you have to like fucking attrition them down. And I mean, I've played it attrition, but that's sort of abusing the system in its own way, because like you're getting more experience when you're like attritioning bosses down. So you kind of want to do that, but then you know it's not necessary. Is what I'm saying. We're gonna have Rebecca plink away at this knight so that Legault can get the kill, because frankly, Rebecca, I love you. You're adorable. Look at your little face, and you've got pretty good stats. It's not bad, but now that I've gone through and been like, all right, who am I bringing? You're no longer the new hotness. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm sorry, Rebecca, but I still like her, and I'm sure someone will force me to play as her when I finally finish this fucking playthrough and start up the pick my unit for Hector hard mode. Which I mean, that might not be. There might be a pretty big break between this playthrough and that one, just because this is a long game. It's a long game to let's play through, unless I do significant speed-ups and fast-forwards. And that's, I mean, I can. But then it's like I'm doing a lot of recording time, but I'm not doing a lot of recording. There's a 5-use chest key. What the fuck was I getting? The physics staffs. Staff 1, singular. Ooh, I have Nosferatu. I can sell that shit. I'll take that. Let's see. I can give him the Horse Slayer for now, because I do I have a heavy lance in there? Might be on someone. I do have a hammer, which would be good, because I don't want to use any more Wolf Bale uses if I can avoid it, because it's really good, and I'd like to avoid overusing it. Alright, who's taking damage? Fucking nobody. Alright, good job, guys. pretty nice stuff. We will have Kent start rolling back over here. He's going to take the long and safe route, but just because I don't want reinforcements to spawn up by daring Darren of Laos over here and catch me completely by surprise, you know? That mage will target Legault and miss him. Good job, Legault. He's starting strong with some dodges that maybe you shouldn't have gotten. Oh, and that white guy will target Priscilla. And Priscilla's resistance growth is not as high as Urk's, and that's kind of a bummer because she's the only person she can't heal is herself. But we'll finish off these reinforcements and hopefully the rest of the chapter next time on Tim Friend. Tim Friend.